Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on the Way, the fun and easy way to learn English. I'm Charles.
And I'm Rachel. We are so happy to be here with you again. Today, we have a super interesting topic. It's something many of you ask us about.
That's right, Rachel. Today, we're going to talk about how to speak English like a native. Is it really possible? What does it mean? We'll explore all of that.
Yes, it's a big question, and we'll share some tips and ideas. But before we start, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us so much to make more free English lessons for you.
Exactly. Give us a thumbs up. Okay, Rachel, speaking like a native, what do you think about that? Is it the goal for everyone learning English?
That's a great question, Charles. I think for many people, it sounds like the ultimate goal, right? To sound exactly like someone from, say, New York or London. But I think it's important to understand what that really means.
Yes, because native speaker is a very broad term. A native speaker from Texas sounds very different from a native speaker from Scotland, for example. So which native are we talking about?
Good point. It's true. Even within one country, like the United States, there are so many different accents and ways of speaking. So when people say they want to speak like a native, I think they often mean they want to speak fluently, naturally, and be easily understood.
Ah, I see. So maybe the goal isn't to lose your own accent completely, but rather to be clear and confident, to communicate effectively.
Exactly. And to sound natural, not robotic or like you're reading from a textbook. It's about using common phrases, having good pronunciation, and understanding the rhythm of the language.
That makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about some ways to get closer to that native-like sound. What's one of the first things you think of, Rachel?
For me, the number one thing is listening. You have to listen a lot. Think about how babies learn their first language. They listen for years before they even say a word.
That's very true. They soak it all in. So what kind of listening are we talking about?
All kinds. Podcasts like ours, of course. But also movies, TV shows, music, audiobooks. Try to listen to different voices, different accents. Don't just stick to one type of English.
Yes, and I think it's important to listen to things you enjoy. If you like mysteries, watch a mystery show in English. If you like pop music, listen to English pop songs. That way, it doesn't feel like a chore.
Yes, exactly. And when you listen, don't just hear the words. Try to pay attention to the intonation, the stress on words, how sentences go up and down. That's a big part of sounding natural.
That's a great point. The music of the language. English has a very strong rhythm. Some words are stressed, others are not. If you get that wrong, it can sound a bit flat.
Right. For example, think about the question, are you going? If you say, are you going? It sounds very different from, are you going? The stress changes the feeling.
Oh, wow. Yes, that subtle difference makes a big impact. So actively listening for those things is important. Don't just listen passively.
Okay, so after listening, the next huge step is speaking. You have to open your mouth and practice.
It sounds obvious, but many people are shy. They are afraid to make mistakes.
I understand that feeling, but mistakes are part of learning. Everyone makes mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes. The important thing is to just start talking.
So, how can our listeners practice speaking if they don't have a native speaker friend nearby?
There are many ways. You can talk to yourself. Seriously, describe your day. Narrate what you're doing. I'm making coffee now. It smells good. or even just practice saying phrases you hear.
I do that sometimes. It feels a bit silly, but it works. You can also use language exchange apps to find partners. There are many people around the world who want to practice English.
Yes. And don't worry about being perfect. Focus on communicating your ideas. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become, and the more natural your speech will flow.
And maybe record yourself. Listen back to your own voice. Sometimes you hear things you didn't notice when you were speaking.
That's a brilliant idea, Charles. It can be a little strange at first to hear your own voice, but it's super helpful for identifying areas where you can improve your pronunciation or intonation.
Speaking of pronunciation, I think this is where many people get stuck. They want to have a perfect accent, and they get frustrated.
Yes, and that's not the goal. As we said, there's no perfect native accent. The goal with pronunciation should be clarity. Can people understand you easily?
Good point. So, what are some tips for improving pronunciation without getting overwhelmed?
First, focus on the sounds that are difficult for you. For many learners, the TH sound or the R and L sounds or short and long vowel sounds can be tricky. Don't try to fix everything at once.
Like the difference between sheep and ship. Smiles. That E versus I sound can change the meaning of a word completely.
Exactly. And the TH sound, like in this or thank you. Many languages don't have that sound. So practice those specific sounds. You can find videos online that show you how to position your mouth and tongue.
And also, pay attention to word stress. In English, every multisyllable word has one syllable that is stressed. For example, in banana, the stress is on the second nana, banana. If you stress the wrong syllable, it can make the word hard to understand.
Yes, that's so true. Or present, as in a gift, versus present, as in verb. Present versus present. It changes the meaning.
Wow, English is tricky sometimes. But knowing these little rules helps a lot. And don't forget about linking words. When native speakers talk fast, words often connect.
Ah, yes. Like, I want to eat an apple often sounds like I want to eat an apple, or what are you doing becomes what you doing.
Yes, exactly. That's a very advanced step. But if you listen for it, you'll start to notice it. And it helps you understand native speakers better, even if you don't use it perfectly yourself.
And remember, having an accent is not a bad thing. It shows where you're from, your unique background. Many people find accents charming. As long as you are understood, that's what matters most.
Yes, focus on being clear, not on erasing your identity. That's a very important message.
Another big part of sounding natural is using common phrases and idioms. Native speakers use these all the time without even thinking.
Oh, absolutely. Things like, how's it going? Instead of always saying, how are you? Or, I'm all ears, instead of, I'm listening very carefully.
Yes, these phrases make your English sound more fluid and less like you're translating word for word from your own language. It's like learning chunks of language.
And you pick these up by listening a lot, right? And by reading. When you see a common phrase, try to remember it and use it.
Yes, that's perfect. For example, if someone says break a leg before a performance, they're not telling you to actually hurt yourself. This means good luck.
That's a classic one. So, when you learn a new word, maybe try to learn it in a common phrase. Don't just learn individual words.
Exactly. For example, don't just learn hungry. Learn I'm starving or I could eat a horse. These are common, informal ways to say you're very hungry.
Oh, I love that. And also, phrasal verbs are a big one. They are so common in English, like look up for searching information or pick up for collecting something.
Phrasal verbs are a challenge for many, but they are crucial for sounding natural. There are so many of them. The best way to learn them is to see them in context. Don't try to memorize long lists.
Okay, so we talked about listening, speaking, pronunciation, and phrases. What else can our listeners do?
I have a great tip. Read aloud. Find an English book, an article, or even a script from a TV show and read it out loud. This helps you practice speaking words you already know, and it builds your muscle memory for English sounds.
That's a simple yet effective idea. You're practicing pronunciation and intonation without the pressure of forming your own sentences.
Yes, and a step further is shadowing. Have you heard of shadowing, Charles?
I think so. Is it when you listen to a native speaker and try to repeat exactly what they say at the same time?
Yes, exactly. You listen to a short audio clip, maybe a sentence or two, and then you try to imitate the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible, almost like an echo.
Wow, that sounds challenging but very effective. It forces you to really pay attention to the details of how native speakers talk.
It is challenging, but it's a powerful technique. You can use short clips from movies, podcasts, or even just sentences from an app. Start with short sentences and then gradually try longer ones.
Here's another common problem. Many learners translate everything from their native language into English in their heads before speaking.
Oh, yes. That makes your speech very slow and unnatural. It's like a computer trying to process too much information.
So, how can people stop doing that? It's a hard habit to break.
It is. But the key is to start thinking in English, even for simple things. When you see an apple, think apple, not your word for apple in your language and then translate.
So connect the English word directly to the object or idea?
Yes. And for more complex ideas, try to think about expressing the idea directly in English, even if you use simpler words at first. Don't aim for a perfect translation. Aim for clarity in English.
That takes practice, I imagine. Like, when you're thinking about what to say, don't formulate the whole sentence in your language first.
Precisely. And the more you immerse yourself in English, listening, reading, speaking, the more natural it will become to think in English. Your brain will start to make those direct connections. Finally, Charles, what's the most important mindset advice you can give our listeners?
I think it's to embrace mistakes and be patient. Learning a language takes time. You won't sound like a native speaker overnight. It's a journey, not a race.
Oh, yes, that's so true. Don't get discouraged by your mistakes. Every mistake is a learning opportunity.
Exactly. And remember, even native speakers make mistakes. They use filler words like like. They pause, they restart sentences. Natural speech isn't perfect.
That's a really good point. Sometimes learners try to speak too perfectly, and it sounds unnatural because real conversation is messy sometimes.
So relax, have fun, and enjoy the process. Celebrate your small victories. Maybe today you used a new phrase, or you understood a movie without subtitles. That's fantastic progress.
Yes, every step forward is a good step. And don't compare yourself too much to others. Everyone learns at their own pace.
Absolutely. The goal is to be a confident and effective communicator in English. Whether you have a native accent or not, The most important thing is that you can express yourself and understand others.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Charles. It's about connecting with people.
So, to summarize our tips for getting closer to speaking English like a native, listen a lot. Practice speaking regularly, even to yourself. Focus on clear pronunciation over perfect accent. Learn common phrases and idioms. Read aloud and shadow. Try to think in English. And most importantly, be patient and embrace your mistakes.
Wow, that's a lot of great advice. And remember, the journey of learning English is ongoing. Even after years, there's always something new to learn.
That's true for native speakers, too. We're always learning new words and expressions.
Yes, so keep going, keep practicing, and don't give up.
Before we say goodbye, please remember to like this video, share it with a friend who is learning English, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to English on the Way.
And we'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us, what is one new English phrase or idiom you learned recently? Or what's your biggest challenge in speaking English naturally?
We love reading your comments, and we learn a lot from them, too.
Thank you so much for joining us today on English on the Way. We had so much fun with you.
See you next time. Keep practicing, everyone.
Bye-bye.